Okay, before we get started here, you should know this is my first attempt at making paper, so don't laugh. And it's meant mostly to document the beginning stages of this and the recipe for the paper. It's about 10 minutes long, so I hope you enjoy it. Thanks. There will be more once the technique is perfected. Okay, here's the design of the mask that I'll be trying to produce a paper positive of. Here's printing three of them on Artemis, and took about 8 hours for those three to be made. The paper itself is just simple masking paper. I shredded it up by hand, and that was kind of difficult. You can see it on the right side there. I took the shreds, put it in boiling water, let it sit for about a couple hours. Uh, take the boiling water, throw the paper in, and then squeeze it out through cheesecloth. Well, actually mix it up first in a blender and then squeeze that out. Here's the Elmer's glue, which is the main ingredient here. 250 milligrams, which was one of my little cups right up to the top of it. And second ingredient, I believe, is cornstarch. Here, it doesn't matter what order you put them in. And there's a total of four. You put in three at the beginning, and then a fourth one later on in the process. And mix it all together. I try to speed up the portions that is mixing, but I'm going to be using a power mixer in the future because it's just kind of crazy the amount you have to do. So yeah, three tablespoons cornstarch, and let's see what's the next thing I put in. Half a tablespoon of baking soda, and I believe the next thing will be vinegar. Just regular white vinegar. 1 tablespoon of that. And you can see it hitting the baking soda there. It is doing a little something. And lastly, some salt, which prevents molding, as I've learned. So you definitely want to put some salt in there with it. You're going to be using these for any length of time. There is one more ingredient here. This is just vegetable oil. 2 tablespoons of that. Those are all tablespoons, by the way. I didn't mean to say teaspoon, but so that's the stuff. It's primarily glue, and then just going to kind of mix that up with a plastic spoon. Could have used a better utensil, I'm sure, but let's kind of speed this up here. And start putting in the paper. Now, I believe I was probably a little short on the paper, which is why the end result is so sticky. So since I bought a paper shredder, I'll make sure that I start with 250 milliliters of that paper pulp. And I believe what that means is that when it's put into like a measuring cup, 250 milliliters by volume, so you'd want to push that pulp down in there. Now, in some places it's been dry that I've seen, and mine was as dried as much as I could after straining it through a cheesecloth, but it was still a little wet. I don't know. I think it might even blend a little better with it being a little wet, but I'll stick with the recipe until I have done a few of these. Mixing it by hand is actually a lot easier than something else. I'm going to be getting a little electric mixer that'll do this part, and you can see it's starting to kind of blend together. Putting the fourth tablespoon of cornstarch in now, and be mixing that up here at high speed. And I believe that's it. So you can see the kind of brown color of the paper is now a light tan. Fairly well blended. I'm not 100% happy with how blended that is. I think I can do a lot better. And then I had to go somewhere, so I saw a video on how to store this stuff properly. Just put it in a Ziploc bag and take all the air out of it. And it's better to keep it at room temperature, not refrigerated, and it's good for up to 3 weeks that way. Okay, then my idea here was to take my 3D printed mold and put a piece of cheesecloth over it. I thought it would probably be a good idea to get it wet first. I don't know if that is really going to affect things in the future, but I think it's going to be the only way to get it off of there. Without using it, I'm afraid that the paper clay would get pushed into the holes in the mold and want to bind those together. After doing this, I can tell you that that didn't happen with the cheesecloth, so I'm going to keep using that. And then it's just a matter of smearing the stuff in there. I'm going to let this run at normal speed here, so you can see the struggle I had. Without being an especially nimble kind of guy, this is glue is basically what it is. Unless I screwed up the recipe totally, I think it could probably use some more cornstarch and or more paper, to make it a little more clay-like and a little less glue-like. But it is a bit of a struggle to get it on there in an even consistency. Now, it is all going to be related to that recipe of that clay. So I'll be working with that, and also using a power blender to blend that second step up. And here I'll just show you the rest at high speed here. Just to give you an idea. So you can dip your fingers in water, and it does help. Keep it off of the gloves, and allows you to work with it a little bit. Found that out about at this point, and just trying to kind of press it into the mold. And now you see it's finally starting to take the shape of the mold. And wanted to do a halfway decent job on it. Of course, it's not perfect, and like I say, it's a first go around. So that's it. We'll come back in 2-3 days and see how it releases from the mold. And thank you for your kind attention.